I've been using the 12.9-inch iPad Pro M1 since it came out in 2021. Well, I mean, I do share it with my wife. Her favorite color is purple, as you can see here. And here we are in 2025 with M4 iPads, OLED screens, Apple Intelligence, and all those fun price tags. And the big question is this thing still worth buying now for a whole lot cheaper on the used market in 2025? Let's kick it off with the design and the build quality. At a glance, the M1 iPad Pro 12.9-inch honestly doesn't look old at all. I'm extremely impressed with how well this device has aged. You still get that flat-edged aluminum frame, thin bezels, and a super clean industrial design that has basically become the iPad Pro look over the years. Put it next to an M2 or even an M4, and unless you're pixel peeping the bezels, most people wouldn't be able to tell you which one is which. In the hand, it feels premium, solid, and expensive because it is, or at least it was when I bought it directly from Apple in 2021. The aluminum chassis is sturdy and it doesn't flex or feel cheap. Now, it is a substantial device. The 12.9-inch version with the Magic Keyboard attached is not exactly throw it in your bag and forget it's there kind of thing. It's closer to a laptop when weighing it in, coming in at around 682 grams without the keyboard, and the keyboard adds even more weight than the iPad itself, a whopping 710 grams. So in total, that means that this weighs 1,400 grams or 3 pounds, and that's about the same weight as my M2 MacBook Pro. If you want to keep it lightweight, just pick up one of those screen covers and skip the Apple keyboard entirely. All in all, this device continues to be a timeless and beautiful design and has held up amazingly well over the years my wife and I have used it. Before we get into the rest of the review, I want to quickly highlight something I use literally every single day in my setup, and that's because FlexiSpot is running their Black Friday sale right now. So if you've watched my channel for a while, you already know I've been using the FlexiSpot E6 standing desk and the Ergo X chair, which is the one I reviewed last time and used to call the OC4, and honestly these two products have held up so well. I'm on these for hours every single day, editing, script writing, filming a ton of b-roll, and doing work for my full-time job, and they are both in incredible shape. Starting with the FlexiSpot E6, this thing has been smooth and stable since day one. The motor is super quiet, the height presets are very convenient, and it has zero wobble even when it's all the way up. It's just a solid desk in every aspect. What I love most is that it just disappears into the background and lets me work, but it also looks incredible too. It's one of those purchases where you never think about it after it's set up, which is exactly what you want from a desk. And the FlexiSpot Ergo X chair has been just as good with long-term use. The lumbar support and adjustability are way better than anything else I've tried in this price range, and even is more comfortable than other more expensive chairs that I have tried. The breathable mesh, the armrest adjustments, the headrest, it's all designed so you don't feel destroyed after sitting for hours. As someone who struggles at times with lower back pain, this chair has been wonderful in giving the support that I need in the right areas. My lower back has thanked me many times. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your workspace, this is the best time to do it. FlexiSpot gave me exclusive Black Friday links that get you the biggest discounts of the year on both the FlexiSpot E6 and the Ergo X chair, and plus you will be helping this channel grow as you do so. I'll have those links in the description below, so definitely check them out if you want to pick these up while they're on sale, and thanks again to FlexiSpot for supporting the channel. Alright, back to the review. And something that was a huge deal when this came out was that incredible display. You get a 12.9-inch Liquid Retina XDR mini LED panel that is still insanely good for content consumption. Also, I wanted to point out that we put on an anti-reflective paper texture kind of thing, screen protector, because my wife loves to draw, so I highly recommend it if you do too. And this is not sponsored, by the way. I just got a cheap one off of Amazon in 2021, and it's been great. But you will notice that it does make colors look slightly duller at certain angles, just in case you're wondering during the B-roll clips. You get 120Hz ProMotion super smooth scrolling and up to 1600 nits peak brightness in HDR, and excellent color accuracy for doing something like editing photos, for example. Watching HDR movies or editing HDR footage on this looks amazing. Highlights jump off the screen, blacks are deep, and gaming on this for long periods of time is such an enjoyable experience. Now, there is one downside of mini LED, and yes, it is noticeable with this M1 iPad Pro. You experience what is called mini LOD blooming. Let me explain. If you're in a completely dark room, brightness cranked up, staring at white text on a pure black background, you will see that halo effect around bright elements. That's what's called the blooming effect. I'll admit that it was slightly annoying when I used it for the first couple days in 2021, but then after that, as always, people tend to exaggerate. It's a quirk for sure, but it's definitely not a deal breaker in my opinion. For most real-world use, YouTube, gaming, and drawing, you completely stop noticing it. The overall image quality, brightness, and color accuracy more than make up for it in my opinion. And for the performance, it's almost hilarious how insanely powerful the M1 chip still is in 2025. It felt a little overkill when I bought it, but it has aged incredibly well and hasn't slowed down not even a little. It's blazing fast for script writing, researching, and heavy web browsing, and I've also heard some like to use it for 4K video editing. I prefer my laptop to be completely honest, but still, it's great for smooth and seamless photo editing. Apps open instantly, animations are smooth, and you're almost never waiting on it to catch up because it's that fluid. I cannot believe that this is a device from 2021. Benchmarks still put it in the same conversation as older high-end MacBooks, which is pretty ridiculous for a tablet. And for the battery life, Apple advertises up to 10 hours, but I tend to get around 7 to 8 hours of screen on time on average. I like to use it for watching content for long periods of time, and also this is very important, please hit that new hype feature down below. It's insanely important for the YouTube algorithm, so my videos can continue to reach those who haven't seen me yet. And doing things like browsing the web, taking notes, gaming, whenever I have some spare time, and lots of multitasking because of that beautiful 12.9-inch display. And where this thing absolutely shines though, is actually the standby time. If you set it down for a few days, it barely sips battery. You can leave it on your desk, pick it up after many days, and it's still ready to go. For a media and productivity tablet, that's a huge benefit. And for the ports and accessories, one important feature that was new on this model was the addition of the Thunderbolt USB 4 port. This works great for super fast SSDs, transferring data, plugging into high-resolution monitors, and basically using your iPad as a little computer when docked, even though no, it's not going to compete with a MacBook. It's still very useful though. And for the accessories, you have a ton available, but the ones that I have are the Apple Pencil 2nd generation, which is still fantastic. Great latency, pressure sensitivity, hover, double tap to switch tools. For artists, students, and note takers, it's more than enough. And I have the Magic Keyboard as well, which was a significant redesign in 2021, and it's a total game changer, regardless of it being a little bit heavier than I would like we just talked about. The floating hinge is great, the keys feel amazing, and I could type on this thing for hours without a single issue. And it turns the iPad into something that feels like a tiny laptop. I recommend picking up a skin to protect it though. I've seen some images online of this material not aging well with time. And for the camera, let's be honest, no one is buying an iPad Pro to use it as their main camera, so it doesn't need to be super high quality like we see in our iPhones, in my opinion. You get a 12 megapixel wide, a 10 megapixel ultra wide, and also LiDAR setup. It's perfect to scan documents, which is mainly what I use it for, doing some AR stuff if that's your thing, and grabbing quick photos if you don't have your phone nearby. But one extremely cool feature that was released with this iPad was the front camera with the center stage feature, which is the coolest thing when it comes to the camera in my opinion. It crops into the ultra-wide lens and tracks you extremely well, even if you're trying your best to avoid being caught sneezing during FaceTime. It keeps you framed during the entire time of the call. My one annoyance that I still don't like after years of use, the camera is in the wrong spot, so when you're using it in landscape with the keyboard, it just looks like you're staring slightly off to the side. I never liked this and I still don't. Matter of fact, if I had to choose only one thing I dislike about this device, because I really do enjoy it overall, that's the one thing. Apple fixed this on the newer iPads, but on the M1, it's still a design quirk that you just have to live with. And for the software and Apple Intelligence, here is where the M1 iPad Pro basically got a second life. iPadOS 26. This update is what finally made the iPad feel like a serious productivity machine instead of just a blown up iPhone. You get a real windowing system, overlapping resizable windows more like what you would get on your MacBook or Mac, a more powerful Files app freaking finally, Apple, thank you, and a desktop-like workflow. I still prefer my MacBook for the hard work, but I have to admit that I have been impressed with how much I can do with only my iPad. And I truly like the new liquid glass design language that actually makes the older iPadOS versions feel ancient by comparison. When iPadOS 26 first dropped, however, there were some stutters, a bit of warmth, all that new OS drama that I haven't really covered a lot on my channel, but after a short settling period, it's back to being smooth and fluid, and it really shows off what the M1 chip can do. And yes, the M1 iPad Pro does support Apple Intelligence. Is it as wild as the marketing makes it seem? Not really. It's nice for future-proofing and for some smarter system features, but if you're doing serious AI work like writing, coding, research for school or work, you're probably just going to use ChatGPT or Gemini anyways. The important part is that this 4-year-old tablet is not being left behind on major software features. That's a huge vote of confidence in the M1's longevity and the value for the discounted price. You can find this now on the used market. So should you buy the iPad Pro M1 12.9-inch in 2025? If you're looking for an iPad or tablet, this is an insane value for the price. Absolutely, just go buy it already. You get a timeless premium design, a genuinely pro-level display, a ridiculously fast M1 chip that's nowhere near its limits yet, a Thunderbolt port, Pencil 2, Magic Keyboard support, iPadOS 26, and Apple Intelligence, and all of this at a crazy low price compared to the new M4 iPad Pro 13-inch. If this video helped you decide what to do with your iPad budget, drop a like and subscribe for more if you like what I do, and let me know down in the comments below if you'd grab an M1 iPad or go for the M4. Oh, and please hit that new height feature down below as well, as this is now crucial for my videos to reach new viewers like yourselves, and I will see all of you next time.